Did you guys like that little rendition of Summertime Sadness? Which was actually about 5 hours ago. Lana Del Rey, I miss you. I am so ready for summer. I'm like itching all over. You guys, look at how bad I am peeling. I am peeling more than I've ever peeled in my entire life. Okay, it is, you guys, this is so sad. It is 8:52 and I just woke up from a nap. Okay, so after I got done, do that little dance break, I went to my P.O. box, and then I went and ate Chinese buffet, which was so good, because Alex is still at the wedding. He's been texting me pictures the whole day. Here, I'll show you what he looks like. And then I came home, and I was going to make videos today, and I was like, I just need to take a break. Just one day, I need to take a break and just enjoy my day. And so I took a nap with the dogs, which was really nice. Aww. There's my husband at the wedding. So, I took a nap with the babies. Pee-pee, don't you want to be on camera? Come on, honey. There's Peeps. Beep, 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 beep. Did you have a good nap? Give me a kiss. Aww. And now I'm gonna show my P.O. box stuff. So I have to tell you guys, last night, I wish I had opened this. Okay, so if you watched my YouNow last night, I showed some of the stuff on my YouNow last night because I just was like so crazy excited. And I'm gonna go shut this light off in here, hold on. Actually, start making my coffee. I'm making a cup of coffee in the Keurig. I bought these McCafes, they're like the McDonald's ones. Winter Wonderland. Do you guys use a Keurig? What's your favorite kind of coffee? I need some good coffee choices because I always pick bad ones. But, okay, so some of these things, I look so bad. I literally just woke up. But some of these things I showed last night on my YouNow stream because I was so excited about it. So, and one of the things, I can't remember who sent me because what I do is I always like keep them out there with the card until I show it in a video. And I didn't do it this time. It was sitting out there because I kept on showing it to all these people. And the card is in the drawer because I keep all of my can you guys see? There's a drawer right there. I keep all of my cards and bookmarks and everything that I get in that drawer. And I was just going through it and I can't find who sent it to me. But the first thing I got was from Vicky. And Vicky sent me this very sweet little hello card. And then she sent me, and this was one of the things I showed last night, this Burt's Bees chapstick kit. It was so funny because if you watch my YouNow stream, which I leave up on my main channel. So this is coconut and pear, pomegranate, mango, and pink grapefruit. And we tried them all last night. Or I tried them all last night. And my favorite, I thought, would be coconut and pear, and it ended up being pink grapefruit. And so thank you so much, Vicky. And I even said on the thing last night, here's mango, which I love the smell of. The pigmentation is beautiful. But I said last night, I did like the swatches for everybody and everything. And I said on there, I said that last year, everybody sent me bookmarks, and this year everybody is sending me chapsticks, and I'm going to start collecting chapsticks because I love chapsticks so much, and there's like so many different kinds of chapsticks out there. Oh God, I'm like dying from peels. So thank you so much, that was so awesome. The next thing I showed on my YouNow stream too, now if you don't watch my regular channel, this won't mean anything to you, and this is from Erin, but okay, so on my main channel I do this thing where I go, what had happened was, I think not. And I think not is a quote from Janis Joplin. Look at this t-shirt. What had happened was, I think not. And Erin sent this to me with this little card. So thank you so much, Erin. And she was actually in the YouNow stream last night. So, but this is awesome. Like, this is so awesome. I love it so much. And I'm actually thinking about having merchandise made with this up here. I told her, Erin, I said, you should just be in charge of my merchandise because I would never have thought of that, and that's perfection. So, thank you so much. Okay. Now, the third one I love, and I've been waiting to take out of the case. And this is the one that I can't remember who sent it to me. So, and they just sent me a snap and said, you haven't pulled this out yet. And I like screenshotted it, and now I can't find the screenshot on my phone. And it's this bullshit button. So, bullshit button, when someone is flinging it so fast that it leaves you speechless, push the button. And the button does, oh.
Everybody put on your helmets. Bullshit is being flung. What a crock of bullshit. If bullshit were money, you'd be a millionaire.
I love this so much. I'm so going to use this on my...
Right up and get your bullshit here.
I'm so going to use this on my channel. Hold on, I'm taking it out of the packaging. So can you please let me know? It's somebody that I like know well too, that we like talk a lot on Snapchat. Can you leave me, like snap me and let me know, and I will give you the appropriate thank you on here.
Now that was grade A bullshit.
Right here, that was some grade A bullshit.
If it gets any deeper in here, I'll need a ladder to climb out.
So I'm gonna keep that right by my side when I do my little drama video. So thank you so much. Okay, the next one, I literally lost my shit, okay, when I opened it. And we got this very, we got this very, very nice, this is from Ricky. We got this very nice little note. I was like just reading it to see if there's anything on here that I couldn't show you, but it's personal. And I got this big package in the mail. And the first thing that she got was she got Alex a present. And she got him Frederick. You guys know Frederick, the guy that sells all the houses in New York City on the Bravo show, which Alex watches and adores. She got him the book, The Secrets of Selling Anything to Anyone to Sell, which she was like super excited about. He just like grabbed it out of my hand. I was like, excuse me, I need to show that in my video first. And she put in here, Alex, I know you love Bravo as much as I do, and I thought maybe you would like this book. Thank you for sharing Peter with us, XOXO Ricky. And he loved this so much. So I told him, I said, you have to wait until I show it on video. But the next thing she sent me, well, she also sent some Swedish fish, which I'm about to devour, because you know I love my Swedish fish. But the third thing, Ricky, thank you so much. I literally was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I like literally lost my shit in the kitchen. Because it's so funny, like when I mention things and then people send them to me and I don't even know how you find them. Because I have literally looked for this on eBay forever and have not been able to find it. Season 1 of The Love Boat. Love, exciting and new, come aboard, we will rescue you, the Love Boat. Anyway, I love this show. I grew up with this show. It makes me so happy. I shared a story on here about how I got him off of Netflix like a long time ago, and Alex and I like watched a couple episodes, and he like thought it was stupid like the first 5 minutes, and then he was like, we were totally into it. And I already own Fantasy Island, so now I can recreate my Saturday nights of growing up, which were Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and the Newlywed Game, and the Newlywed Game was already on, so I can just recreate my Saturday nights with my mom growing up. So thank you so much, Ricky. That was awesome. I love that. I was so excited about that. All right. Do you guys like when I show this stuff on here? Like, I feel like partly it's kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm getting these gifts, and I feel bad about it. But, like, I feel like if I don't, like, you guys send me things, which I think is so nice. Like, if I don't, then, like, you guys are like, did you ever get my gift that I sent you? And so I'm like, well, this is, like, the perfect place for me to show it. So I think I'm going to continue to do it. I'm sorry if people think it's rude or whatever. You don't have to send me anything. That's not why I have a P.O. box. I actually have the P.O. box for my BookTube channel. And I just put the address over here because people can send me review copies of ARCs, advanced release copies of books. And that's why I have the P.O. box. So, or people can send me bookmarks or cards or postcards. So you don't send me anything. I mean, seriously, a snap, a tweet, whatever, if you want to contact me. But the next thing was so heartfelt to me. And she's a viewer that you guys hear me shout out a lot. and I adore her. And I'm not going to read her letter because she sent me a very, very personalized letter that was long, that meant the world to me. But this is from Ola, and Ola and I have had kind of a special relationship on YouTube. And she knows why, and I don't want to get into that. And if she ever decides to share it in a comment or whatever, she's free to do that. But I don't want to tell Ola's story. But anyway, she knows I adore her, and she sent us these 2 hats with Pee-Pee on the cover of them. They're trucker hats. Do you see this? Oh my God. Alex immediately grabbed the black one and was like, I want the black one. Now, I have to tell you that I'm going to have to, it's going to take some form fitting to get this hat to fit correctly. Because I was wearing, no, we don't fight over the food. I was putting it on last night, trying to get it to fit on my head, and it wouldn't right away. So, you probably won't see this hat for a couple days because I have to get it to fit, like, correctly. See? Oh my God. Look at that. It's Pee-Pee on my hat. I love it so much. So, Ola, thank you. This was absolutely amazing. We loved it. Alex, oh, here's his blue, oh no, that's my hat that I had on. But he grabbed the black one, like, immediately and was like, this is mine. I was like, well, you can't take it until after I show it on video. So, and that was not the only thing. She sent it, and I had to go pick it up from the office, and it was this box which says, Post Italiana, and it was like this yellow box, and I was like, that's crazy, like, it was this big yellow box, and I loved it. So, thank you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'm getting ready, actually, to go on YouNow right now. If you guys don't know what YouNow is a live streaming thing. I've talked a lot about it on here at this point, so if you don't know about it, then it is what it is. But it's like this live streaming thing where I interact with people and just talk to people and all that kind of stuff, and it's really fun. So you guys should come over there. You can download it. It's a free app. There's all kinds of people that get on there. The ones that I watch are like Amberlynn Reed. I mean, I kind of watch some of them just to see what they're gonna say. I watch Charlie, the vegan cheetah. Do you guys watch Charlie? I watch Eugenia Caney. She's on there for like 10 hours a day. She doesn't do anything, but like you can tip people and she just gets tipped constantly. So she's just like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Shenanigans, who I've talked about, John is on there a lot. I watch his a lot. Who else do I watch on there? There's a lot of YouTubers on there. Jordan Hanna, who I adore, that 19-year-old kid. There's all kinds of YouTubers on there. So Trisha Paytas comes in sometimes. Other people come in. Martin Lewis has a channel that he does. And people just get on there and they like live talk. When people ask me, they're like, what do you, like my friends in real life? I'm like, it's like a cam model, but I don't take my clothes off. It's so fun, but anyway, I will see you guys in just a little bit. I love you. My, hey, hey. I am really into 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. It's like such a great show. And, music is really good on it too. So I've like done nothing tonight. I did a YouNow stream. I took a nap with the dogs. I love napping with the dogs. Like that might be one of my top 3 favorite things to do of all time. And I love my dogs so much. And then I went and picked up Tanya because she had to get a vegetable tray and a fruit tray for her niece's wedding shower tomorrow, bridal shower. And so we went and did that, and then we drove around and talked for a little bit. And then I took her home, said hi to her husband, Eric. And then I went to the casino and met up with my friend Lori. And that was really fun. My nose is like running. I don't know if it's like allergies or if I'm getting sick. Somebody said in my comment section, they said, you say you never get sick. I'm going to go back and I'm going to count how many times you've been sick since January. I was like, that is so true. Like, I always say I don't really get sick, but then, like, maybe I say it more than I really, like, maybe I say, like, I'm getting sick or I'm sick and I don't really feel sick, or I don't know. But what's so funny is I've had so many people say that to me in my life. They're like, you say you don't ever get sick, but then you always say you're sick. But, like, I really don't get, like, I mean, like, when I say sick, I mean, like, incapacitated, unable to leave bed. Like, I can't remember the last time that I, like, canceled appointments that I had and didn't go into my office and just didn't participate in life because I felt so sick. Like, I honest to God can't remember that. And since last time I talked about little unknown facts about me, I'll share another one, speaking of being sick. One of my biggest fears in life is vomiting. I cannot stand to throw up. Like, the arching of the back and the muscle spasms and everything that goes with it, I literally cannot stand to throw up. And, like, it terrifies me. Like, I will do anything. I have sat over so many toilets and been like, when I felt like I was going to throw up, to just, like, make myself not throw up. Because I was so scared I would throw up. And actually, the last time I threw up was probably 5 years ago. And legit, before that, it was before I got sober. Isn't that crazy? I remember back when I was drinking, my friend Krista and I, she and I lived together, and she lives in Berlin now, but we would drink, like, start drinking at, like, 11, like, on a weekend, and then, like, by, like, 5 or 6 or 8 or whatever, be so tanked that we would, like, make ourselves, like, we would vomit, like, make ourselves vomit, and then we would lay down and take a nap for an hour, so when we got up, we were, like, refreshed, so that we could drink again, like, we could drink more. Like, that is a sick alcoholic. The other thing is, I've known so many people that are on Antabuse. Do you guys know what Antabuse is? So Antabuse is a drug. People don't really use it as much anymore because it just really doesn't work. I mean, I've known a few people that it's worked for, but not a lot. And I'll explain why. So it's a drug that if you take it, it doesn't necessarily reduce the cravings of alcohol, but what it does is that if you drink on it, it makes you violently ill. Like, almost to the point of having to go to the emergency room. But I have known so many people that have forced themselves to get sick through it, because once you're on the other side of being sick, you can drink. Like, and it doesn't, like, you don't continue to get sick and sick and sick and, like, over and over and over again. You, like, have to drink through it, and then you're fine. And I have known so many alcoholics that have drank through the Antabuse, which is crazy to me. I don't know how crazy it is when I think about the lengths that I went to. They were, in that 13 Reasons Why they were drinking 40s. And I used to I started my day every day with 40s. I would drive to the liquor store and I would get a 40. My favorite was Colt 45, but I would drink Old English too. Oldie. But I would get a Colt 45, and then I would... Sometimes, if I was feeling real special, I got those 40-ounce, like, I would drink the 40-ounce Fosters, but I didn't love them because they were just beer. But sometimes I would drink those 40-ounce Sapporo, those Japanese beers. Those would get you real tanked, too. But I really liked malt liquor, and I know that sounds crazy, but I really did. It, to me, just tasted like stale beer, but for some reason, I really liked it. So anyway, I can remember I would go to the liquor store and I would get a Colt 45 and a pack of cigarettes. My last 2 years using, this is what a day looked like for me, okay? Like a Thursday. Like if I was gonna go out that night, it's kind of cold. Let me turn the heat on a little bit. Like, if it was a Thursday night, like a night that I was gonna go out, but not like a Saturday, like when everybody was doing stuff. So I would get up at like 2 or 3. I never went to school. Even when I was registered for school, I never went. And what I would do is I would go to college and I would register for classes and I would go for like the first 3 weeks. And then I would drop out while I still had, time, you guys, you have no idea the Peter I was back then. I was such a con artist, drug dealing, scandalous, alcoholic, drug addict, manipulator, lie right to your face, hateful human being. I just was nasty. I just was of no value to my life whatsoever, all because of my addiction. And I'm so blessed. I feel so blessed to have the life that I have now, and I'm just... Somebody left me a comment on my video today and said that they had been sober for 3 years. I can't remember who it is. I'm sorry. And they're like, I feel like we have like the same life. And I'm like, we're family, you know, because that's what we say sometimes. But it is really something that unless you've lived through it, the war of addiction, like, I don't think you really relate, which is why I think that 12-step programs are so profound and work so well, because there's no power greater than one alcoholic talking to another or one addict talking to another, which is why, like, Al-Anon for friends and family members of alcoholics and addicts is so powerful too, because you don't really, and I can say this as a child of an alcoholic, you don't really know what it's like to be a child of an alcoholic or to be the sibling of an alcoholic. Like, siblings are really hit hard with it. Like, we don't talk enough about that, like, in counseling and things like that, but, like, I had so many siblings when I worked with teenagers that were like, would cover for their brothers and sisters or lie for them. And then when they would like almost overdose, they felt so much guilt because they would be like, there are so many times I should have said something to my mom and dad and I didn't, you know, or if I really loved them, then I would have done this and I wouldn't have enabled them. And it's like, siblings are put in such a difficult situation, you know, and, anybody around an alcoholic or an addict, I think that's like an active chaos and use. I don't think you really understand what that's like until the fear, the anger, the resentment, the guilt. I don't think you really understand any of that until you've gone through it yourself, you know, like, I can remember like when I was like in junior high before like my real drinking started and stuff, although I started drinking at 12, but I still was very conscious of my mom, like hating my mom's drinking. And I can remember like pouring down her alcohol down the drain, like when she would go to bed, and like feeling guilty for doing that, but like so scared like of what would happen, you know, like scared that my mom would die or that she would wake up and be angry. And at the same time, I was so angry and just scared in the world too, you know, like I've talked about this on here, but I had a reoccurring nightmare of my mother being attacked and me getting out of the house. And the day that my mom got sober, I no longer had that, what do you call it, fear, and I no longer had that nightmare anymore. I like drifted off in my head, if you could think about this, if you could see that. I was thinking about this guy that I was talking to the other day, and he's 25, and he has a baby on the way, and he was so stressed out by all this stuff that he relapsed, and, you know, he came back into the 12-step program and we were talking and I said, and he goes, well, what do you think? And he was like, are you disappointed in me? And I said, I'm not disappointed in you. I mean, I'll never be disappointed in you. It's your life. It's your choices. You know, you have to make that. Am I sad for you because that was the choice that you felt like you needed to make? Absolutely. I wish you didn't have to make that choice, you know? And he was like, well, you know, having a child on the way, like, gives me motive to even want to stay sober more. He had 2.5 years sober. And I said, you know, your child will never have to know a father that uses drugs or alcohol. How powerful is that, you know? 22 years I dealt with an alcoholic mother. And she was a great mother at times, too. That doesn't take away her value of being a parent, you know? And, but the greatest gift that she ever gave me besides life was her sobriety. I mean, absolutely. Our relationship from 22 on just like got so much better because I no longer felt responsible for her happiness. I no longer felt responsible for her safety. She became the mother that I always wanted her to be, and I didn't have to take care of her. And it was such a gift, you know, it just was so amazing. And to be able to share that with a parent I think is really cool. I love when I meet families that, the alcoholic or addict is involved in a 12-step program and the rest of the family is in Al-Anon or Nar-Anon. Though we don't really talk much about Nar-Anon anymore, but Al-Anon, which is, like I said, the 12-step program for friends and family members, and the whole family is in recovery. Because you don't just have an addict or an alcoholic, you have a whole addicted family. And I think people don't really understand that at times. They think like, well, my mom or my sister or my daughter is going to go to treatment and then everything will be fixed. Well, you're part of the problem. And if your behaviors don't change too, then you're going to force the addict or alcoholic back into the wanting to engage in those using behaviors, which is really, really scary, right? And so support groups for friends and family members are vital. I just almost started getting really teary-eyed because a couple years ago I was asked to come and speak to Al-Anon and tell my story. And I don't share everything about my story on this channel, and I have no problem doing that, but like, I just shouldn't be here. I should be dead. And my life, I just feel like life is such a gift. And I remember when I got done telling my story, I always read this poem called Broken Dreams, and I'm going to pull into the gas station here in a second and I'll read it to you guys because I don't want to get on my phone while I'm driving. But I read this poem, and I think it's actually an Al-Anon poem. And this woman came up to me afterwards, I'll never forget, and she said, "You remind me so much of my son, and he died from addiction." And she was like, "But you give me hope for other parents that they don't have to go through what I went through." Here, I'm going to pull this poem up. So whenever I tell my story, which is called Giving Your Lead, I always finish it with this. As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because he was my friend. Okay, this is not a religious poem. It can be whatever your spiritual beliefs are. As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because he was my friend. But then instead of leaving him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. At last I snatched them back and cried, "How could you be so slow? My dear," he said, "what could I do? You never did let go." And like, I remember like being so scared to get sober and go into treatment. Like I can remember my first day in treatment, I did anything to get out. And when I finally just was like, okay, I guess this is my circumstances. Like this is what I deserve, And I can remember walking out, and the nurse in the detox unit was my neighbor that I had grown up with, and I didn't know that she had been a nurse at the treatment facility that I was at. And I said to her, I said, I just need to go home. I said, I just want to go home. And she said, "Peter, you almost died." And she said, "You blew a .47, and she said, "You really shouldn't be here." And she said, you need to just be here." And she started crying, and I remember she took a cigarette out of I don't know why I'm like crying about this story. I remember she took a cigarette out of this pack, and she handed it to me with a lighter. And she said, "Go down and get a cup of coffee in the lounge." And I went down there and got a cup of decaf because they don't serve caffeine in treatment facilities. God forbid we would get addicted to caffeinated drinks. And it was December 17th of 1994. And it's my sobriety birthday. And I remember sitting in there, and it was like blizzard conditions. It was just like snowing outside, and I remember looking outside and just seeing all the snow, and I thought, what has my life become? And 22 years later, I'm sitting here telling you this story as I hear the birds chirp outside. And I think, what has my life become? It's become something pretty magical, you know, something pretty amazing. I'm just so grateful for it. And I think that sometimes, like, the way to heaven is through hell. You hear those birds? New birth. New baby birds. I want life to slow down a little bit. I feel like it's going really fast. I was like talking to Tanya tonight. We were talking about TV shows. You know, it's so funny because like whenever it's like on Tanya's sobriety birthday, I said we were talking about TV shows tonight. We were talking about just random bullshit. And we got laughing so hard about something in the car, and I just looked at her. And I remembered what I said to her. On her sobriety birthday, I said, she's been sober 21 years, and I've been sober 22 years. And I said, they promised me that I would, if I stayed sober, that it would help with probation. And they promised me that, my relationship with my parents might improve. And that physically I would feel better. But they never told me that I would make the best friend I've ever had in my entire life. I just feel so blessed on a daily basis that like you know, and I want that to feed and live in my channel. Like, I'm so crying out of joy right now, not out of sadness, because I just feel like life is such a gift. And that's why I love sharing it with you guys, my life. And I love hearing about your lives. I was talking about the ice cream last night, and then so many people left their favorite ice cream. And I just sat there and I was like reading them through, and I was like literally like 40 comments deep, and I was like, I can't answer another comment. And so I just read them. I mean, because I put like yum on like 5,000 comments. But life is just so cool, you know? It just really is, and it's all the small shit. And like, just to circle back, it's taking a nap with my dogs. You know, it's Boo Radley last night as I'm sleeping going, because he heard a sound, you know? It's just so innocent, so sweet. And I love that about life. I love that every day that I get up, I don't know what's going to happen, and that it's going to be a new and exciting day. And I love that so much about life. I love it. I love life so much. Life is such a cool thing. And even on my lowest days, I'm constantly surprised by the magic of life. As Linda Berry, the cartoonist, says, it's so magic. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. I just wanted to add real quick that I was trying to kind of like get away from the whole like crying bit for a second and end the video, because I was like, okay, I need to get cheerful for a second. And so I kind of was like, I ended that like real bullshitty, and I'm not going to go back in and edit it, because you know that's not who I am. So I just want to say I love you guys. Good night. I hope you're having an amazing weekend, and you know I love you. That's not bullshit. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, PSSS. I have a strange question for you guys. Because so many people say that they like just listening to me talk. So I was watching, I like sat in the parking lot and watched like another half an hour of 13 Reasons Why, and there's a part where these two girls are whispering to each other in the classroom, and they're like talking and whispering. And it reminded me of like Tanya and I like are obsessed with Big Brother After Hour. We both love Big Brother. And so our favorite part of Big Brother After Hour is like when they'll like be in bed or they'll like be outside and they're like whispering to each other. So did you see what Janelle did? I don't know why, but we love the whispering part. Like it just makes us feel so homey. And I was like talking about last night, like Caroline and I like laying in bed at my grandma's house and like how we would whisper to each other. We would be like, I can't sleep because grandma's breathing too loud. And what is it about whispering? It's like this whole like, do you guys know what ASMR videos are? I didn't even know what this was until like I got on YouTube, and it's like all of these like video people that like whisper and they talk. And so now I'm like, well, maybe I should start an ASMR channel because people love my voice. Would that not be funny if me, somebody that hated my voice my entire life, started an ASMR channel? That would be so hilarious. Should I start an ASMR channel? I don't know. But do you guys like whispering? Like, what is it about whispering that we like that's so soothing? But like, I was watching them like whisper in this classroom, and I was like, I love whispering so much. Isn't that so crazy? God, what an up and down vlog this has been tonight. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below if you guys like whispering. All right, I love you. Good night.